This again gets into the next thing is to release your mind, to be mindful of what you are doing. So I'm getting from this book, I'm now getting into the second book. Here I'm going to talk more about mindfulness. There is a story of Joel. Joel has a family, he has a wife, 2 kids to look after. So when Joel says that, like, I don't have time for myself, between my job, my wife, my 2 kids, I don't get time. Where do I get time? I just have so little time. So then he was thinking about it, it was how to manage things. So then he thought, how can my wife's time not be my time? Her time is also my time. I am spending my valuable time with her. I am enjoying her company. So her time is also my time. My kids' time is also my time. So when I am enjoying the time with my kids, helping with his homework, then I am also enjoying the time with him. So then, this is with lot of practice that he comes to this conclusion. He's not reading anything. Okay, he's saying that now I understand there is no need for my time as such. Because whatever I am experiencing, it's oneness with everyone. It's not particularly my time. It's always our time. We should not be confused about me, mine. We should be always doing this of ours, a social thing. Going on to the next thing, simple task. The author says here, he was with his friend has come over to his place. Now they had this dinner, so he asked, will you have some tea? So the guest said yes. What his thought was, I'll just clean my dishes and then go to the making the tea for him. So he goes ahead and start cleaning his dishes. Then the friend says, I'll help you. Let me clean the dishes. He also starts cleaning. Then he asks, are you washing the dishes to wash dishes? Or are you washing the dishes to clean it? He says, I'm washing dishes to clean it. The author says, that's not the right way. You have to wash the dishes to wash the dishes. So the thing is, you should be mindful of the things that you do in your real life. So if you are washing the dishes, you should be thinking that you are taking the soap in your hand, you are getting the scrubber in your hand, you have the bowl in the other hand, you are going to wash the dishes. After that, you are going to make the tea for the guest. You are not going to rush into cleaning the dishes so that you can go and make the tea. You have to be mindful of cleaning those dishes and then go make the tea. So he says that he was in a pagoda where their job, they were interns. So their job was cleaning the dishes. Then there were no soaps or scrubbers or nothing. They were used to have the ashes clean the dishes. They used to, with their hand, with the ashes, scrub the dishes there. And there were a lot of them because the pagoda itself is a big thing. Lot many people there. By the time you are like clean each and every dish, you are tired and then you go to sleep. But you are mindful of what you are doing. So in winters, the water is cold, so they were not able to clean the dishes with that. So they have to first heat the water up and then go and clean them. So here what he is explaining is, so for every task that you do, you should be mindful. For being mindful, for connecting body to mind, there is only one thing, one bridge, and that bridge is your breath. So I'm going on a detox. I'm fasting so that my digestive system is going to be good. I'm taking a lot of water, with then water intake will keep me hydrated. But never do we think about the most important and natural phenomenon, that is breathing. Breath is the most important thing in our life. Talking about a book that were given in the pagoda, the book contains all the things that you start from you waking up to sleeping at night. So you are going to wake up. You should feel mindful. You should say to yourself that you are going to wake up. Okay. From then you are going to brush. Then you are going to take a bath. Then you are going to have your chores completed. Then you are going to have your dinner, and then you are going to. So these particular, every instance is explained in that book, Essential Discipline. They are just telling you the task, and you are just repeating that task. So that was the main essential discipline book in that pagoda. Just imagine. So it's so simple a task that we in our daily lives are engineered to do that without knowing. Right? You should be mindful of those things. Again, the mindfulness goes ahead with like you are walking on the earth, you should be mindful of having your feet down. If you are walking through the sand, you should be mindful that there is a sand, your feet is going into the sand. You should be mindful of each and every step that you are taking. So the next thing is also he's saying that there is no need for a meditative place. You can be in a meditative environment while you are sitting, while you are standing, while you are walking. So the best thing is to have a meditative state while you are sitting. While you are sitting, you either sit in the lotus position, wherein your right leg is on your left thigh and your left leg is on the right thigh. If you are not able to sit in that position, go for a half lotus position, wherein your right leg is on the left thigh or the left leg is on the right thigh. He also says the Japanese position is also a good position, wherein you kneel down, sit on your legs and have a pillow instance behind. That's the good meditative state that you can have. Okay, that's called the Buddha Bodhi state. You sit in that particular way, in that triangle with your spine erect, have your eyes or you keep your eyes open. It's all in your mind. So also your palms should be one on another open. Now, how to breathe then? To learn breathing, when we inhale, you will notice that our stomach comes ahead of you. And then your chest pumps up. There is a gap between the lungs and the stomach, and that's called diaphragm. When you breathe, the air goes first in that diaphragm. That's the reason your stomach is coming out. And then it goes into your lungs. That's the reason your chest is coming out. So that's the way to breathe. If you are inhaling, you count 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when you are exhaling, you have the same count, like 1, 2, 3, 4. You will notice that the inhale is shorter than the exhale. And that's a good thing to have. You should prolong your exhale so that you have all your air from your lungs out. And you can breathe in fresh air. And you'll be energized by that. So you should repeat this for 20 breaths. And you get into a meditative state where you are one with yourself. There are two aspects of life and death. They are the same, like two sides of the same coin. The thing is, we need to recognize death as well. So when we are born with death. So you should not be afraid of dying. You should be taking that in yourself, that life and death is a part of us. So how to do that? There is the meditation of corpses. You get into the position like the full lotus or half lotus. You sit there and you just think of somebody you love is no more. You think of that person. You think that that body is lying in front of you. You think that the skin is going away. You think that the blood and everything is that dried out. You think that your skeleton is showing up and the body is only bones. If you get into that thing and if you breathe continuously, you will be in a meditative state and you will realize that life and death is one and the same thing. It's oneness. So another meditation technique that he talks about is you go into a tranquil place. You go on a beach, you go on a green area, you get in a sitting position, you breathe. And the one thing about breathing is that you should be breathing in a way that the person sitting beside you does not get to know that you are breathing. So the breathing should be like water flowing through the sand. You shouldn't make any noise. It should be like, the other person should not say that you are breathing it out. It should be similar, like it should be oneness with the environment. You should think of your body coming out and it's in front of you. Then you should converse with that body while you are still breathing. So that's how you will get one within you, like you will be in a tranquil place. Body and mind, the bridge between them is not anymore there. That's the value of how meditative state can bring you in. Sharing this particular story that he had mentioned in the book. The book is full of breathing techniques. So it's more related to sutras in the Buddhism. After the book is complete, there are sutras. And the sutras is everything about breathing. The breathing, the meditative state of compassion. So there are a lot many techniques there. And you should be reading that to actually know about it. So now this story. There was an emperor. He wanted the answers to these three questions. So first is, what is the important time to do each and everything? The second is, who are the important person I should work with? And the third is, what is the important things that we should do each and every time? So he asked, whoever has these answers to the question, I will give you a prize. I will give you whatever you want. The ministers in his kingdom came up with the weird answers. For the first thing, what is the important time to do each and everything? King was told he should be making a planning chart. He should be having a time chart to do each and everything. So he should be planning his time accordingly. For the second question, for what are the important people to work with, he had this again. You have your ministers, you have your pundits to work with, you should be working with those. And the third was what important thing we should be doing each and every time. For that he said the science, religion, those were the things that we should be doing each and every time. The emperor was not influenced, so he said, no, you are not giving me the right answer. So what he said, I will go to this hermit in the Himalayas and I'll ask him the answers to this question. So he goes with his soldiers and then asks the soldiers to stay back, and he climbs mountains. The hermit there was an old person and he was digging up soil to plant seeds. The emperor goes there. I have some questions to ask. The hermit doesn't mind. He is keeping on digging and digging. The emperor goes again and asks him, give me answers to these 3 questions. The hermit again is not minding him. He's going digging and digging. But he's an old man. After each and every day, he is feeling short of his breath. So the emperor sees that. He says, I'll help you in digging. And he goes ahead and digs. Again, between his digging, he asks those questions. The hermit doesn't respond. Goes on digging, digging, digging. Then one person comes running, wounded person. He has a big wound on his stomach and the blood is coming out of it. The emperor sees that. Emperor goes to him, makes him lie down, gets a cloth, gets out the blood which is coming out. He squeezes it, he again dampens it, puts the cloth on it. Then the hermit and the emperor takes him to the small hut the hermit had and have him rest over there. After some while he becomes conscious, he drinks water and he goes to sleep. Over here now the emperor has dug and dug. Now he's so tired after climbing up that mountain, he goes to sleep. The next morning the sun rises. The emperor wakes up, oh, it's morning again. So then the person wounded, he gets up and he says, I'm sorry, please forgive me. The emperor said, what have you done so that I should be forgiven? So he says that you had killed my brother, acquired all my kingdom, and I had a plan to kill you. Knew that you were going to the Himalayas, come here, and I had a plan to kill you. So when I was about to kill you, but you stayed back and you were with the hermit digging, I thought you would come back and I'll get a chance. Meanwhile, the soldiers saw me, they attacked me, and I got a wound. I just ran and I found you. Please forgive me for that. Emperor feels a kind of compassion within him. He says, I forgive you. I give back your kingdom. You can be happy again. So now he's off. He has to go back to his kingdom. While he was going back, he said, let me give a last try. Let me ask this hermit again to answer those 3 questions. Again, he goes with that the 3 questions. What is the important time to do each and everything? What is the important person I should be working with? And what is the important thing that I should be doing each and every time? So the hermit says, you have answered yourself. First of all, when you came here, you saw me digging, and then you said you'll dig. The important time was then, when you offered yourself to dig for me. Then the second important person to work with. I was that person. You felt compassionate about me, so I was that person, the important person to work with. And what is the important thing to each and every time? The helping nature to help the person who is not able to do this thing is the important thing. And the second example, when that wounded person came in, he had that wound. So what is the important time? The important time was then. What was the important person you were working with? The important person was that wounded person that you were working with. What is the important thing that you did? You prepared the wound. The thing that the author is saying, the important time is now. The important person is the person that you are with now. And the important thing to do is to be happy with that person. This particular author, Thich Nhat Hanh, the author is a nominee of Nobel Prize. So during the Vietnam War, he saw his fellow people dying. So what he did was he went to US. There was a conference where he was invited. So he was telling them the technique. One person, one American, he got angry. Why are you here? You should be there in the Vietnam serving your people. Then the author said, if the tree has to grow, I should not be watering the leaves. I should be watering the root. So you are the main cause of destruction over there. I should be giving you some knowledge about compassion rather than getting to work with my people.